Also, Sangpo subject everyone. Also, one the page the name to Tsondru.
We will now recite the Ngöndro liturgy together.
Guru Bema Bao Gandru Zodaji Tamje Kukarda Zondage Ngaji Lui Tuji Gombari Bara Jardi Dala Dede Chadrilji Chadaji Siljembu Dunje Namgaraji Bara Jelamaga Drenzo Namji Medala Du Jejenjizi Dudadaga Zumzem Jena Semnoma Dinji Ngandona Descendendo Bena Warja Mandodo Jur Bezemjela Purare Do Bena Jorne Shenkajene Zujembeje Palamanje Jejune Ringaye Danyo Mene Dente Zamgo Bedelabo Lejawa Dujidalajo Neredrenyam Gejenderu Tarajende Nidrobai Telamanga Rezononji Medage Gozunjeniru Medage Gozunjeniru Medage Gozunjeniru Nazo Tinendeje La Long Kudosago Bayindu and Tenyam Dosano Shumi.
It's time for the exhalation of still breath. We will do it 9 times together.
Lazo Tinendeje La Soldemna and Chilab Shua de Yamare and the Soldem de Suzu Chizondo and Pemadan Dawi Tenji Demla and the Nama Guru Rumba Chella Mo Suzu Savila Manji Sam Detinu Tela Teva the Meba and the Sajibutone Solada and the Solada Karida Guru Senuzana ane karasabura kido lenye sange kare chuna kera manu rosame ane keju tuje sero na ane tanda ane karasabura Ngöndro rinpa na lamen daljo tunga kumgi di ane lamen chilak yang dabaji samlan jubaji ane sola dabaji tandi chilam juburu ane tuje sero na sanda di yanja soa dui tabi imare ane sola dabaji jula lama to jeba chenpo na xiao zumdang da jebe to ne nawan jin song sam nawan jin sa wen ju la ne na mo de shin na ni la pa tim so zo le nga ye sum na la me ko song to sum de yer me de ju song sa me de ma re wa ta de nyam do so ma yu yi.
Now it's time for supplication and receiving the blessings. As usual, first visualize Guru Rinpoche on top of the crown of your head on a lotus and moon disk. Realize that he is in essence your root guru while appearing as Guru Rinpoche in form. Then with deep faith and devotion, supplicate as many times as possible in the following manner. Supplicate that since you, Guru Rinpoche, are the only refuge in all our circumstances, whether joy, sorrow, or good and bad, please consider us with kindness. And since we are contemplating on the meaning of the Ngöndro practice, and particularly Guru Yoga, I supplicate you or supplicate to bestow me the blessings, to receive the authentic blessings of the Guru in our mind stream through your compassion. After supplicating as such, visualize that the Guru, with great joy and smile in his face, bestows all the blessings and then melts into light and dissolves into ourselves. Then his body, speech, and mind becomes indivisible from that of our own. So please supplicate and visualize these.
Baldean zave lama rimbo dage juro beme de la gajen jembe ngonde jesu kozon doge Ngöndro zangdo Dezuma zanje adam jige ngo lama rimbo je dage gyu menjin cholwara jinje labdo Salam je doba je bara je gyula je vara jinje la Zeden je la wazan zoba je be alam tar je bara jinje la doz Dezum zanje adam je je ngo lama rimbo je Dage gyu minjin cholwara jinje la Salam je doba je bara je gyula je vara jinje labdo Zede ne la waza zoba je be tar je bara jinje labdo Zanje adam je je ngo Nama rimbo je je dage gyu minjin cholwara jinje labdo Salam je doba je bara je gyula je vara jinje labdo Zede ne la waza zoba je be la tar je bara jinje labdo Sulwan devzo lama rimbo je tuwe be jinjin je ye kalme dala reza gyule tuye yermen je bara jinje Rangdu namgara jeje jazu we zenje bem nida zebe Yamne Ngöndro oje doje za xialje chanye zhuzum zi Beja Sangpo chögu sabre chaye doje yunbe zhubom Sangvi Chaja Bezu Akadam Ju Shamye Rodan Jazu Ramjam Zawa Sumye Chebu Nanze Balde Lame Ngoro Yu Mon Lasu Ni Dana Ngazo Ni Sem Dulwi Di Menga Ni Dambi Chöse Namido Ni Sanje Chö Gendun Nangne Ni Sanje Ji Songsha Bi Lungu Chö Lamna Yan Digere La Sanje Ji Tuju Langa Wi Tobe Chö Lamna Yan Digere Di Ranju La Jewe Tapcho Lungur Ba La Ni Ngöndro Ngöshi Che Sumyo Ba Le Ngöndro Di Da Nyamne Che Shimba Sanamido Samlo Tong Shimba Yimba Re Da Teno Ngöndro De La Tumongchi Ngöndro Tumen Nangi Ngöndro Tende Yoba Le Danda Ngazo Tumong Chi Ngöndro De Samlo Tang Sa Ne Ani Tumen Nangi Ngöndro De Ni Kom Shimba Yimba Re
Right now, among the three stages of practice, the preliminary, the main practice, and the conclusion part, we are currently contemplating on the preliminary practice, the perfect method of giving rise to the authentic Dharma, the Dharma or the words taught by the Buddha himself among the three Jagas, the Buddha, Sangha, and Dharma, or the realization of the Buddha himself, or the realization that Buddha himself possesses, which are the pith instructions of transforming our mind. Of the two preliminaries, the external or the ordinary preliminary and the inner or the extraordinary preliminary, we have completed the first one and currently contemplating on the second, the inner or the extraordinary preliminary.
Da Tumen Nangi Ngöndro De La Ani Karso Gore Tarbin Lamji Ani Karso Gore Ko Kyamdro Tekchen Lamji Zawa Semje Kaljin Tiri Tamche Chongra Cheba La Ani Torsim Kumde Ani Soksa Tripjang Nangna Chodo Gyurba La Ani Mendra Ani Chilabji Zawa Am Chilab Ani Chodo Gyurba Rani La Ani Tobar Seba Senamidu Chilam Jubingu Koso De Lamen Naljoro Wa Dene Yoba Le Ta Tanda Chilabji Zawa Senamidu Chilam Jubi Ko Lamen Naljor De Ani Samlo Da Tayi
Among the five subdivisions of the extraordinary preliminary, refuge, the doorway to liberation, uh, arousing bodhicitta, foundation of Mahayana path, recitation and meditation on Vajrasattva, the pacifier of all obstacles, karma and obscuration, mandala offering, the supreme of all merit accumulation and obscuration, pacification, and Guru Yoga, the source or doorway to all supreme blessings. Uh, Today, we will begin our contemplation on the fifth or the last of the five subdivision, Guru Yoga.
Ta Lamen Naljor De Pome La Ani Chi Suldab Dardun Droba Nang Nyamba Dardun Droba Ani Sangwa Kongba Kyangwa Che Nambo Sum Yung Yure Tele Tangbo Ngazo Che Suldab Dardun Droba Yin
In contemplating or practicing the Guru Yoga, there are three types of the practice: the outer practice of supplication, the inner practice of reciting mantras, and the secret practice of sustaining the experience or the practice. So, first, we will start with the practice of supplication.
Ta Chi Suldab Dardun Droba Du ane tangmongo la sozu ne dunyi namgar de la lama ane salda bugu yore kari jine sili zana ane daja ki tomba jumden de ane kongpa nyangalen de ne lon nye dong tangab de chuzhure rukzam chen tsaware di nga zo che sun tubi mare maungpe sanje chamba kongpa ne ane tanda pep chubi mare ane du chok shen la yubi sanje dunzu ne nga zo shal njalwe ane sonam me bare ta dilo du zum dang chok ju la shubi sanje tam jige kyal sab de ane so so tsawi lama de cha de duwe ane so so le da molam nungi unge jal de ba ane de lama de sanje tam je dubi ku sanje tam je na ir me ba je ku yore.
To begin the outer practice of supplication, we first need to visualize Guru Rinpoche in the space in front of us. The reason we need to do so is because the Buddha of our time, Buddha Sakyamuni, has already passed into parinirvana 2566 years ago. So we are a little late to be in the presence of the Buddha. Likewise, the Buddha of the future has not yet come, so there is also no chance of meeting the future Buddha. Similarly, we are not fortunate enough to physically meet or be in the presence of any of the Buddhas of other directions. Thus, our Guru is the embodiment or the regent of all Buddhas of the 3 times and the 10 directions. Therefore, having been able to meet one's Guru through the power of karma and aspirations, one should have devotion to one's Guru as the embodiment of all kayas of the Buddha, indivisible from the Buddha himself.
Ni gyugi pecha mangpoche nangla yang lama de ni karasa gore sanje da yerme ta gore sung yore ni lama ji gomba yinna ni lama liba tamche gomba sanje tamche gomba da ni cheme ba ni jigwa yinba lama ji la solo tamla sanje tamche la solo taba da jigwa yinba owa teneje ni sung nangyo yore ni doa nangla yang ni karasa gore maungpa la ane chumden de ngozo shal jalwe kalwa meba denzo la ane karasa gore lama jayon gore denzo sanje da chikbar tajo wa tene yang sona yore.
As it is mentioned in various Tantra texts that Guru is indivisible from the Buddha himself, when one meditates upon Guru, it becomes equal to meditating upon all the deities and all the Buddhas. Likewise, when supplicating to a Guru, it is the same as supplicating to all the Buddhas. Furthermore, even in sutras, it is said that in the future, for those who have not been fortunate to meet the Buddha in person, they will meet Gurus and so regard them as the Buddha.
Ni tene yinzang nga zo tanda sem la chinam jube je sawa ngoma tene ni lame nal jute gomgo ba yindu ane sozo chezo de la ane lama gomgo budo ane ta gomda rima mendo sozo yubi na ane lama gomda ya mendo mendo yungu yore de tanda toju parje kongsen je ngondu ta ane lama de ngurumba je gomgo bare namba de ngurumba che ngo de sozo sawa lama gomgo bare o dinde je ane gomda re ne tal kale shubi.
Since the practice of Guru Yoga is the source of receiving all the blessings to our mind stream, we need to visualize the Guru on top of the crown of our head. As there are several traditions of the practice itself, there are various methods of visualizing the Guru to each of these traditions. For us, according to the Tokto Project Council preliminary practice, we need to visualize Guru Rinpoche, who in essence is our own root guru, while in appearance Guru Rinpoche. So this is the method, or this is the way one should visualize Guru Rinpoche. And now we will slowly continue with the instructions.
Ora da de kanje komgo dosi dos ne sozo jin dunla ni karaso dunni namga de la chebi tin cheju ni kasam de padu me bada namche samdi meja ba kanda chebi zemang tamye ba de kilo de ni karaso bure sengeti ne norbu rimbache la druba je sengeti tiche ni de ye yun kyab ne zo la senge ni yo ba ani std teng du me do peme teng du ni ma nang da we ten o den de ji ani sal da bro no.
To continue our elaboration on the visualization, first visualize clouds of offerings in the space in front of you. The offerings include immeasurable outer offerings of sensual pleasures, as well as inconceivable amount of inner offerings. And then in the center of all those inconceivable amount of offerings, imagine a lion throne made of precious jewels, and imagine two lions upholding the lion throne on every direction, right, left, front, and back. On the throne is a lotus flower, and on top of the lotus is the sun disk and the moon disk. So please visualize these for a while.
So ta seng ji pema nyemba dawa na ji be teng du ani guru no buche ani shal ji chagni ani kodo karla mardang chaba ani shal tho la jumdang dang chaba o ani karza gore shamni jalbe rol dab du chuba o dende ji ni chuz na saldam na no chubi.
Seated on the lion throne, on top of the lotus and the sun and moon disk, visualize Guru Rinpoche. He has one face, two arms. His body is white with a hue of red color. He appears to be in a fierce appearance with a smile on his face. His 2 feet are in the posture of royal enjoyment, or the posture of royal ease. So please imagine and visualize these for a while.
So ta de da guru buche de ni nang la namsa ni kaso gore nang jo la nang jam ka wo ni de chilo la tuma marbo de chilo la ni karaso gore page pojen tenga de chelola chogo namzum marbo am marser de chelola de sawo jimber mobo yoba o tendeji nabajan saldamama.
Regarding his garments, Guru Rinpoche is wearing a white inner garment. On top of that is a red shirt. Covering it is a Tibetan style outer shirt with a cap sleeves. On top of that are the three monastic robes, yellow and red in color. And for the outermost garment, Guru Rinpoche wears a maroon brocade cloak. Please imagine these for a while.
So dine najum guru muje ola ojen penja ne pema tongjo second de che ne cha ye bala ne toji tsenga ba ne duni na bala charte yo ba ne cha ye bala ne theba nangdu duze kang de yo ba de kang la ne chebum na che ne duze yo ba ne khajen la de ne kar so re pasam chingi ne loma yo ba yana norbo de thajen yo ba ane guru muje ye chengung yamba de la kadam je kangjo la zesum ane deo la teba kamlung ningsum yoba deo la tene karaso wana dojen jandam o tene darjang dang jeba ane o tene yoba chi ane gyuzan saldam narona.
Continuing with the visualization, on his head, Guru Rinpoche wears the lotus liberation on site, the lotus crown. In his right hand is the five-pronged vajra facing upwards. He holds a skull cup filled with nectar in his left hand, on top of which is a long life vase with either a top ornament of a leaf of wish-fulfilling tree or a jewel stone. Placed on the left shoulder is the three-pronged trident, and below the three prongs of the trident there are dry and fresh skulls, three dry and fresh skulls below it, and below them is a crossed vajra tied with several silk ribbons. Please imagine and visualize these for a while.
So ta de do guru rinpoche de ane karaso re namba salwa ane karaso re yimba la ane jazwen naji ane songyu meba ane karaso re jazwen naji songyu meba yena yang khenpa da tsewa nyube yundu tamche tsangde yoba ane takore la tene tsawa na nyube lama da konjo sunda tsangma yo samde na yande yore yana guru rinpoche daharang ko gendun song tamche tuk sanje ane tene dahana shinda lama yedam khanru sanje cho gendun zamma se ane cho gu lungu turuku la soba tane ko sum dang wa yong su soba tamche ndibi dani kundu nirvi lugi meba ngō sō sō tsā wā lā mā rē yōng tū sūm sāng jē tāng bē rī bō ngō yīn dēnē sāng kō gu dō dēyāng kio wā sā sāng mā rā.
In visualizing the Guru, in our case Guru Rinpoche, imagine that his appearance is vivid and clear all the while, just like a rainbow. Just like a rainbow, he is clear, but at the same time, he is intangible. He also possesses the three qualities of wisdom, compassion, and power. Then one can imagine Guru Rinpoche surrounded by the root and lineage gurus and the three refuges. Or alternatively, one can also visualize Guru Rinpoche himself as the embodiment of the three refuge, the three roots, or the three kayas. One can imagine that, or imagine or visualize that the body or kaya of Guru Rinpoche as the Sangha, his speech as the Supreme Dharma, and his mind as the Buddha. Similarly, the embodiment of three roots, Lama, Idam, Deity, and Dakinis, as well as the embodiment of three kayas, the Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya. One can visualize as such according to the Kundu Nobulu, the tradition of jewel or embodiment, visualizing Guru Rinpoche as the embodiment of all the three refuges, the three roots, and the three kayas. So now please imagine and visualize these for a while.
나서 다 된대게는 사다비 아니 소소 싸울라만 나만 고른 거지 잡아 대라 샘 대바나 뭐봐 제지부터네 소라다 보고 이래 네 가야잖아 다 등행님마 타마 또 용류잖아 저주바바 된절라 치 버제 나무 버제 상을 버제 아니 샘마 먹는 거 용거래 버제 담제 셀와나 아니 진압 초도 좀 주고 버제 발라 라멘 날줄 거면다 라마로 솔로다 비디니 네바 체쇼나 펜도 체쇼 인송 유래 지디다 라마델라 대범메바 제지비도네 무솔로다 보고도.
One should supplicate with deep faith and devotion. The reason for such supplication to one's root guru is that at the end of our degenerate age, or the kalpa, it is said that there are innumerable obstacles to a dharma practitioner. The obstacles of outer, inner, and sacred causes. Thus, for pacification of all these obstacles and receiving the blessings from the Guru, the practice and supplication to Guru or practice of Guru Yoga is said to be the most effective and powerful.
아니다 디라고 솔라다 베지 찌디다 가리 소나에 개발이야 말에데 단다가서 봐봐 아니 가서 그래 솔데 바르젤람설데 아니 냠도 좀 그래 도주 그런 바르제 군서 그런 게 솔데 브레데 유래 대연에 가서 그래 솔든 개바데 나저 가서 그래 대마제 좀 아니 솔데 되봐 도지 세상 도좀 상대마데 아니 양도 가서 그래 송 솔라다 대어라더니 뉴베 나마나마 솔라다 베도 아니 바로라 소에 바래.
Regarding the words we use to supplicate, in general, we can use any prayer or supplication. But in our case, according to the Thukta Parche Kunsel preliminary practice, we need to recite The longer version of Guru Rinpoche prayer, Parche Lamsel, the prayer which removes all obstacles from the path. And after reciting the Parche Kunsel, once we can then recite the concise version of the prayer, the 7-line prayer, and also in between the supplication, we recite the supplication to the lineage gurus.
나서 되는 가서 다 남만라 대바 매바 제집이 돈에 아니 가서 솔데 버제 남살데 종선아 세든 제수 젬바 세는 돈니가 삼로다 대만나야 라발라데 지제 냉nye kido kari chungna kyarankin kyaramodon rosa me nyami lotu lingyur gyugone ne solata gogo yore ani de solde blekale nyamdo sorona yugo.
We will now recite the supplication prayer, the longer version, Bhaja Lamsel, the prayer which removes all obstacles from the path. If able, one is advised to supplicate with both words and the meaning, that is, to bring to mind the exact meaning of the words during reciting the supplication with deep faith and devotion. If not, one can also recite the supplication prayer, realizing or recognizing that Guru Rinpoche is the only refuge and considers us all in our joy, sorrow, or anything good or bad that may come during our practice. So now let us recite the supplication together.
Om Ahom Bazaranguru Bemazide Chubu Nawa Daya La Zulwa De Lungu Doje Shembo La Zul Chubu Bema Junde La Zulwa De Dagi Lama Wasar Chubi Yakara Yuldo Kudru De Samze Pul Usu Shaljun Cheba Oje Yuldo Kujo Dudunze Doje Dalaji Seve dazo lama zhong gombe dala ngudu jibe dazo barje chiye barje chiru zo nange barje nangdu sangye barje yingzu zo gube jazala jabzu Om Ahom Bazaranguru Bema Siddhi Kuye Ngazara Tongwe Ze Ebe Raldi Chadya Ze Ebe Kubi Chadya Shalje Cheze Kyenla Ze Kyalwe Tongzin Zhuye Gun Tuje Dala Jin Sewe Dazo Lamna Zhong Gombe Dala Ngudu Zu Ebe Dazo Chiye Barje Jiro Zu Dange Barje Nam Sangye Barje Yingzu Zu Kube Chazara Jabu Oma Ahom Bazaranguru Bema Siddhi Namjue Rinzen Sembe Ze Kozala Wazire Dandani Chaye Dene Legbam Nam Yumbe Purbe Pude Nam Samme Shanam Tukzu Yangle Shuji Pende Da Toje Dala Jinjulu Sewe Dazo Lam Ngombe Dala Ngondro Zo Dube Dazo Barje Chiye Barje Chiru Zo Nange Barje Nando Zo Sangye Barje Yin Kube Chazala Jabzo Je Oma Ahom Bazaranguru Bema Siddhi Tamjen Damla Dabe Ze Dime Nejo Nyamre Ga Kyagar Puyul Sasam Zo Chinye Lamje Chezon Peme Dembere Medo Bema Guyanje Chume Changchuk Duzu Chu Tedin Teye Ne Kejo Tuzan Chogo Zo Chaye Doje Ze Bonam Yumbe Rinjen Sama Do Rada Doze Nam Kandro Tamjen Tamla Da Yidam Shaze Ngojumye Doje Dala Jinjulu Sewe Dazo Kumbe Dala Ngondro Zo Debe Dazo Barje Zo Chiye Barje Nange Barje Nando Zo Sangye Barje Yingzo Zo Kube Chaza Gyab Oma Ahom Bazaranguru Bema Siddhi Gyalwe Demba Zo Beze Yare Nala Juba Ze Nimbur Namke Yingzo Mo Doje Chadye Langshin Dril Trilshin Zende Nazo Nebra Chushin Soyang Gem Sibdi Mode Sagang Ze Yajan Nabo Duldu Tenje Dume Doje Doje Dala Sewe Dazo Lamdan Zhong Gombe Dala Ngodu Zo Dube Dazo Barje Zo Chiye Barje Nangaya Barja Nandozo, Sangya Barja Yinzozo, Kube Jaza, Oma, Om, Bazaran Guru, Bemas. Sangpo Ka-Nying Zebe Ze, Yejun Zhubo Jaloje, Yazan Sozan Kadole, Tsimjin Udasel, Gonglo Chudul Lumbezo, Renjen Janja Nazozo, Chaya Karbe Purbana, Duda Sangpo Ka-Nying Ze, Yunbe Sende Purbana, Mumbe Bula. Kuna Janja Purbana, Yedal Hada Nizumi, Nime Zhubo Tujen Dala Jinjalo, Zeve Dazo Lamda Zhubo, Be Dala, Nebe Dazo Barjezo, Chiye Barje Chiruzo, Nange Barje, Nandozo Zangwe Barje, Kube Jazan Jabzo Je Om Awo, Bezaran Guru Bema Zende, Tiyi Yuldu Kong, Mibong Shuje Sa, Shilan Danyan Kange Sonando, Peme Dingdu Sisirda, Peme Nana Kong Baze, Tsenya Pema Juni Jezo Bezan Jing, Tijen Zhubo Yazin Jen, Tuje Dala Jindulu, Tsewe Dazon, Kube Dala Ngodozo, Lube Dazo Barje Zijiye Barje, Nange Barje Nandozo, Sangwe Barje Insozo, Kube Chaza Jabzo Chi Oma, Mezrangura Bema Sende, Pödi Nima Zebe Ze, Teden Jowa Dembe Bar, Kangla Kandu Kurin, Zangala Ye Lado Do, Chale Kenyen Damlada, Yunde Sawe, Sashudu Laye Kenyen, Jinshu Zaje Damlada, Manyu Deye Chamjendu, Kelang Shela Ngodumna, Tepara Pabe Rezinjo, Toje Dalaj, Zewa Dazo Lamda Dongo Be Dala Ngodozo, Libe Tazo, Chie Barje Chirozo, Dange Barje Nandozo, Zaya Barje Yezozo, Kebe Chaz, Oma, Won, Bezar Gura, Bema Sede, Hon Palmo Tange, Paldando, Temba Chunyi, Damlada, Pul Kale Lado, Kangar Shame Damlada, Tamsha Labi Ningdundu, Tangla Yarjo Tamlada, Hebu Ri Yangondo, Lazen Tamja, Chevel Hade Tamje, Lale Sogo Nebu, Lale Demba Sowarja, Lale Tendukan, Tunam Duru Toboje, Toje Dala Jinjelo, Zeva Daza Lamda Gombe Dala, Nebe Dazo Borjezo, Chie Borje Chiroso, Nange Borje Nandozo, Sangyo Borje Inzozo, Gobejezo. Oma Bazangura, Damba Sedewa, Damba Choje, Tambani, Kazan Dauru Subese, Samia Majin, Jambe Komba Tarjinze, Kejo Sumji Senzo, Chine Bema, Chine Bema Sambawa, Chine Soje Doje, Sanzen Doje, Chaboza, Toje Dala, Seven Dazan Lambda Dongo Bedala, Ngodozo, Bedazo, Barjezo, Chia, Marjik Chirozo, Nange Barje, Saman Barje, Yazozo, Beja, Zaja, Oma. Mazarangura Bamba Sindu, Sami Chimbu Drubaze, Tingun Dojin, Mojonan Jabarabon, Janantarba Lamlago, Tonzum Bunji, Demon, Chubu Jimerin, the Kalden Sanja Salago, Toja Dala, Jinjala Zavadozo, Bedalango Dozon, the Bedazo, Borges, Chia Borges, Nangi Borges, Nandozo, Kubejas and Jabzo, Ma, Benzarangura Bamba Sindu, Dini, Udin Gildun, Tada Simberg. Milel Hagir Yazanji, Choba Mejun Wazarji, Todan Duru, Toboji, Toja Dala Jinjulu, Zava Dazon, Kome Dala Ngodozo, Libe Dazo, Barjezo, Chia Barje, Nange Barje, Nandozo, Sangyo Barje, Inzozo, Kube Chaza Jabuja, Oma Awu, Bezaranguru, Bemazid, Kozong Doden, Joa Jembe Bar, Jeba, Gombang Kamzum Salarki, Modik Chongi, Dejin Chogi, Chanju Jubi, Barje, Nebarsa, Toja Dala. Seven thousand Lambda Dong, Beda Lango, the Beda Barjes, Chi, Barje, Chedos, Nangi Barje, Saman Barje, Inzo, Beja, Oma, Bezrangura, Bemazid, Oma, Bezrangura, Bemato Desal, Bezra Sambaya, Zazid, Bala, Lazo, Tini de Jala, Tusum Sanje de, Sai, my Indu. Devana Mebe, CGP, Tone, and Soldat Tom J. Jalboam, and Gurumja Soldat, Kazo, Tuba, Soldat Severe, Nay, Soldat D. Namjun, Yane, Yandu Sombaina, Ajang, Gichelap, Chambayambare, De Soldat Dinazo, and Temakaje, and Yamdu Sona Shugi.
After we have finished reciting the supplication Pachalamsel, the prayer which removes all obstacles from the path once, we must accumulate or recite the concise version of the supplication, the 7-line prayer. The 7-line prayer is considered the king of all supplication, and thus the prayer is very powerful and advised to be recited regularly. So now we will recite the prayer a few times together, recite them with deep faith and devotion.
Dusum Sanje Guru Rinpoche Ngöndro Gondang Dewaji Parche Gunzera Dudur Dabo Zal Zowa Dezu Jinjelo Chinang Zangwe Parche Shiva Da Zamba Lunje Dubara Jinjelo Dusum Guru Rinpoche Ngöndro Gondang Dewaji Parche Gunzera Dudur Dabo Zal Zowa Dezu Jinjelo Chinang Zangwe Parche Shiva Da Zamba Lunje Dubara Jinjelo Sanje Guru Ngöndro Gondang Dewaji Parche Gunzera Dudur Dabo Zowa Dezu Jinjelo Chinang Zangwe Parche Shiva Zamba Lunje Dubara Jinjelo Dan Namnyu Soldev Sakudu Soldev Watanda Dusum Sanje Made Bumja Danda Trida Lazoba Yang Yangdo Sai Zodi Mare.
So as mentioned above, the 7-line prayer is the supplication that we normally accumulate or recite for the Ngöndro practice. It is accumulated or recited again and again for as much as thousands or 100,000 times.
Dine Ta Dusum Soldev Dusum Sanje Sayunde Dine Baro La Karzabure Gyube Lama Namla Soldev De Timbre Res Sungduna Yabu Yere Dinde Gyube Soldev De Ma Nyamde Temaji Dungi.
Likewise, as instructed above, the supplication to lineage gurus are recited in between the accumulation or recitation of the 7-line prayer. It is advised to be recited each one in between the accumulation of the 7-line prayer. So now we will recite the supplications to the lineage guru once.
Dede Jimbo Jabda Judigo Wazian Dombara Jimela Solwan Devzo Jena Barjezo Jinje Lobje Jodun Juzen Dabo Namna Longjezo Ninje Wangjo Jogun Bela Solwan Devzo Jena Barjezo Jinje Lobje Jodun Palden Bemba Ledon Durbego Naze Zilun Jawando Solwan Devzo Jena Barjezo Jinje Lobje Jodun Yexian Kala Jube Zodieje Zangwe Damo Yingzhou Zun Solwan Devzo Jena Barjezo Jinje Lobje Chodun Yede Meje Jalza Beroje Jambal Doje Jezo Yab Solwan Devzo Jena Bar Jinje Lobje Chodun Godu Tangzin Namzhu Nedre Jaze Da Nimen Rudu Jodun Solwan Devzo Jena Barje Jinje Lobje Chodun Godu Chabda Jamya Tenze Wangbo Da Korlu Gon Dayela Solwan Devzo Jena Barje Zo Jinje Lobje Chodun Lemon Galde Zabza Dembaze Nozen Chedan Jubaraje Solwan Devzo Jena Barje Jinje Lobje Chodun Godu Yedam Dage Damje Ned Songju Yeje Rube Golo Solwan Devzo Jena Barje Zo Jinje Lobje Chodun Godu Changzhou Bardo Zazum Labele Chezong Jede Tuje Tunga Chenang Zangwe Barje Gunxin Gongzong Lamen Goban Yorondo Veju De Jola Yang Tuzum Sanje Ma De Yang Yangduane Solada Bugure Chedu Sozon Lama Chigla Lama Yedam Khandu Chonyon Nono Terdama Jaba Tamje Duba
In this way, reciting each of these supplication in between the accumulation of 7-line prayer, we have to keep on reciting the 7-line prayer and supplicate to Guru Rinpoche, realizing that he is the embodiment of all Guru Idam deity, Dakini, as well as protected deities, wealth gods, and Dharmagyan deities.
대인제 제대는 솔들이 솔들는 좀 다다나 가서 어떤 막갈래 주도에 네 배전 거란다 말셔야 송로나.
So, up till now was the outer practice of supplication among the three types or three practices of Guru Yoga. And now we will conclude this session by reciting the concluding part of the liturgy together.
Yandara solwa dabe ala zo namje ne sumne jawe de kuda yero chazen je naba chamme ba nisar je tuldara rala de ona je la ngodro malwe ba do bara juru ma zarguru me mazade ma zarguru me mazade ma mazade namjin da de chengor cheza sayre ni de jola yang ni sonang.
Normally, when reciting or accumulating the mantra at this point, we recite it a full rosary, that is 108 times. So we will now continue reciting the concluding part.
Alde la me goye ne jine uzra jwa da ge ne kozon do da ye je do je ye jen je lam wa je do bara la me je om le wazra garbo ju rangi jiwro de tombe wa do lu je je ma jang lam je re mu go ma la wa Devo truco de be galba jendunje. Debe ale wazra marbunje range jimbratim sangwe wandu. Age jema jang lam salong kumbala. Devo longo de be galba jendunje ba. Duge hungle wazra ngombunje range ningradim. Sheravi jeja wandu. Yeje tema jang lam teliang gomba lao devu chubu de be galba jendu je laryang devere le uzre kadwa na zo ba zhu range devra dim wang xi ba do yeje je tema jang lam zo ba chenpo gomba lao devu ngu ni gu de galba jendu je Nama ojen jembo nye nyeba jembo rana Rayan kunje ma jebe ngala yine zem Namdan jodra jenje Jeya ruba jebe dilgurondo deje sanga jebe gewa Tuzum zabe gezo kundum Changjum nyingburang owaranje zonam deye daye zhuwang gun chena sang barje kunshi remye lamje zhiba darje pema jalbe ngoba nyurdu zhu zadye lamje jilam nyen yedam gandro leda jibjin zhu chegyo zume barje gun chodun godro zhibe daje zhu Oma mezarang guru be mazide o biji de le jembo ye jene wazanyo ngaye dami sonju wa be judara guna rajin ju be jinjo be mawe junye ngon sum jazere de le alo Nyamnang kong be jalme ganji Reba zembe ba wo drage Cheze lo de doje lo ngaranju De do min gombo wandai Ningje derenje janan be monda. Kozum gonde jebe doren. Kandor jo be zenjo gelazo. Sendango enambro dale be jojo. Wajebe dunzand. Tajenga nyam yeje jazo. Sedebe madado enjevaraju. Deyare zenamje zalamla denengu la yeje jazu. Suje la mengo banyurdu. Raje de nyelunje rubaraju. De meje dair me bemanjo ranat. Bezandor barej. Nare yer me manju nyum. Dene nam da jindo jevaraju. Gando jebe javadam jendo dore yunde dundendo. Yama dando jedan jejurone zuljen jubera wa yub. Chudon nene nyimbe dundunde sedre zebe jazo ngal. Seba dambe jaram tunje jibe jubla jungala. Abje jende jore meba. Tamje jamje sanje do baraju. Mazo kuzu dojana dojeche. Dini mazo chama jayung.
Thank you, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you next time.